My name is Emma, and I'm going to be teaching the first Kids in the Kitchen workshop today. Today we're going to be learning about my plate. The food group is vegetables, and later on our recipe will be a 5-can chili. Vegetables are an important part of a healthy diet, and according to my plate, vegetables should take up about 1/4 of our plate for each meal that we have. So for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 1/4 of our plate should always have vegetables. Vegetables can be raw, canned, cooked, or frozen, and today's recipe is going to be using canned vegetables. The first step whenever we're cooking is going to be to wash our hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Now that we've washed our hands, we're going to go on to step number 2, which is to strain our kidney beans and our black beans, and we want to make sure that we're rinsing until the water is clear. It's important to strain the canned beans because they're preserved in a liquid that's made of starches and sodium, which keeps them fresh on the shelf for longer. So we want to make sure that we're rinsing all of that liquid out until the water at the bottom of the strainer is clear. To use a can opener, there are a couple of different types, but for ours it has 2 circles on the inside. One is bumpy and one is smooth. The way I like to remember it is bumpy starts with B and so does bottom. So the bumpy circle is going to go on the bottom of the can, and then the smooth one is going to go on top. I'm going to squeeze the can until I hear a loud click, and then I'm going to turn the nozzle. It's really important not to touch the sharp part of the can because it is really sharp, so I'm going to just dump it right into the sink to strain it. One thing I like to do is to open all of the cans before I strain them at the sink. It just makes more sense to do it that way, all in one place. If you're right-handed, it might be easiest to hold the handle with your left hand and twist with your right hand. And if you're left-handed, it would probably be easier to do it the opposite way. Now that all the cans are open, I'm going to gather them and take them to the sink. It's important to make sure that we rinse all the liquid from the can because it has a lot of added sodium in it, and we want to reduce the sodium in our diet to prevent health problems later on. And step 3 is to add everything that's strained into our pot. And step 4 is to add the green chilies, diced tomatoes, and the tomato paste to the pan. The diced tomatoes I'm not going to strain because it is important for the texture of the dish that we're making, the chili. The liquid and the seeds in the diced chilies add to the flavor and some of the heat, which is why I'm keeping the liquid and not straining these. And step number 5 is to heat on medium until everything is thoroughly heated. So I'm going to turn our burner on to medium. And we're just going to stir this until it's heated to taste. So this should take about 5 minutes. Ours is starting to bubble a bit, which means it's a little bit too hot because it's coming to a soft boil. So I'm going to turn it down a little bit. You might have to play around with the settings on your stove. The seasonings that you have might look a little bit different than what we have here, but I'm just going to add some seasoning to taste, which is going to be chili powder, crushed red pepper, garlic powder, and paprika. And now that our chili has been heated all the way through, we can take it off the stove and serve it in some bowls. And now that it's all cooked, we have a healthy meal with vegetables that can be made with ingredients from your pantry.